family, and I normally don't get this. They don't follow me around like this. My wife, she's always here, and they make little behind me. So thank God for you. But I'm going to try to play this for you, okay?
What time did you get up this morning?
3 o'clock.
That rubbed off on me. I think I got up like at 4 or 5 this morning. God give him grace.
Yeah. I'm still alive. Still here.
And why do you face the wall?
This is Psalms 19. Some of you, some of you might know it. I'm very much interested in painting landscapes. Okay, plein air painting, and I spend a great deal of time doing that. I'm not as good as I would like to be, but I'm growing more and more in doing it. But one of the songs that I love that expresses what I do in painting is Psalms 19. Okay, so I'm gonna try singing a few verses of that for you. Okay, or playing and singing.
Thank you, Levon, and we'll hear from him again. But now we're going to hear from David Shakes, who's making his way over here to introduce some pieces from the Harlem Renaissance and to tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you very much, Rachel. I'm so pleased to be here this evening as a part of this program. I see from my loved ones, friends, it's very heartening. And I love the work of Levon Shepherd. We go back a long way. All of us, workshop, a lot of people don't remember it, all of us and previous to all of us. And just, I'm so pleased to be on this program. And thank you, Rachel, for the invitation. And I appreciate the work that you're doing here, the engagement at GIVA. We need more things like this happening at GIVA. And Rachel, make them happen. All right, I just want to spend a few minutes or a minute or two on the Harlem Renaissance. You can't wrap your mind or your voice around the Harlem Renaissance. It was a magical and mystical time in this country that grew out of the mindset, the intellectual powers of W.B. Du Bois and others. It's noted that 1917 is the earliest noted time in looking back that they recognized the Harlem Renaissance as beginning. It's actually more recognized from 1922 through 1934. And just an amazing time with a great migration, people coming from the South looking for a better life, a different way, away from Jim Crow, also from the islands. Many people came from the diaspora that contributed to it. A lot of times we don't hear of or recognize, or not enough attention is given to, I think, people who contributed to the Harlem Renaissance. I love Langston Hughes, and he's the poet laureate, but there were others, like Claude McKay and Zora Neale Hurston, and Elaine Locke, Arna Bontemps, so many thinkers, writers, artists. So it's a wonderful time, and I invite folks to look back into it. The more you look into it, you think you know it, but go back and look at those great works. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. But I'm going to start with a few pieces from other people, and then we'll go into Langston Hughes later on, or in the second half of the program. All right? Okay, I'm gonna start with one from Sterling Brown. Sterling Brown was a brilliant writer. He became a great professor for decades at Howard University, but he was born around the same time as Langston Hughes at the beginning of the 20th century. He graduated from Harvard University, but chose to spend his lifetime working out of Howard University, mentoring and educating dozens, thousands of poets that came forward in the decades after the Harlem Renaissance. But he was a great poet and intellectual, but he also was right down with the people. I'm gonna start with one. It's called Odyssey of Big Boy, illustrating some of the struggles, trials, tribulations, and triumphs that we all go through and our families have gone through. Let me be with Casey Jones. Let me be with Stagger Lee. Let me be with like such men when death takes hold on me. When death takes hold on me. Done skinned as a boy in Kentucky hills. Drove steel there as a man. Done stripped tobacco in Virginia's fields. Alongst the River Dam. Alongst the River Dam. Done mine and coal in West Virginia and liked that job just fine. Till a load of slate curved around my head. Won't work it no more mine. Won't work it no more mine. Done shot the corn in Maryland. In Georgia done cut game. Done planted rice in South Carolina. But won't do that again. Do that no more again. Been roused about Memphis, Dockhand in Baltimore. Done smashed up freight on Norfolk wharves. A first-class stevedore. A first-class stevedore. Done slung hash yonder in the north on the Old Fall River line. Done busted suds in Little New York, which ain't no work of mine. Lord, Lord, ain't no work of mine. Done worked and loafed and such like jobs. Done seen what there is to see. Done had my time with my pint in my hip and sweet gal on my knee. Sweet mama on my knee. Had stovepipe blonde in Macon. Yalla gal in Maryland. In Richmond had a chocolate brown. Called me a monkey man. A big fool monkey man. Had 2 fair browns in Arkansas and 3 in Tennessee. Had Creole gal in New Orleans. Show God did 2-time me. Lord, 2-time, 4-time me. But the best gal that I ever had, done put it over them, a gal in Southwest Washington at 4.5 M. 4.5 M. Done took my living as it came, done grabbed my joy, done risked my life. Train and caught me on the trestle. Man done caught me with his wife. It's doggone pretty white. Done had my woman, done had my fun. Can't do much complaining when my jag is done. Lord, 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 my jag is done. And all that big boy asses, when comes time for to go, let me be with John Henry, steel driving man. Let me be with old Jazz Bo. Let me be with old Jazz Bo. How to see you? Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. I love it. This one is by Claude McKay. A lot of people came from the diaspora, and he was a wonderful poet, came from the countryside of Jamaica, and wrote significant work. Home to Harlem is one of his great works, and many others. Essays, novels, covered the span. Here is The Tropics in New York. Bananas, ripe and green, and ginger root, cocoa and pods, and alligator pears, and tangerines and mangoes and grapefruit, fit for the highest prize at parish fairs. Set in the window, bringing memories of fruit trees laden by low singing rills, and dewy dawns, and mystical blue skies in benediction over none-like hills. My eyes grew dim, and I could gaze no more. A wave of longing through my body swept, and hungry for the old familiar ways, I turned aside and bowed my head and wept. That was Claude McKay. He's a great writer. Here's a little short. This is from Zora Neale Hurston, who was one of the major ones. She and Langston led the way in many ways during the Harlem Renaissance, and she did so many things. Also, anthropologist, goes on, writer, explorer, researcher, strong voice, strong spirit. Let the Deal Go Down by Zora Neale Hurston. When your cards gets lucky, old partner, you ought to be in a rolling game. Let the deal go down, boys. Let the deal go down. I ain't had no money, Lord, partner. I ain't had no change. Let the deal go down, boys. Let the deal go down. I ain't had no trouble, Lord, partner, till I stopped. Let the deal go down, boys. Let the deal go down. I'm going back to Bama, Lord, partner. Won't be worried with you. Zora Neale Hurston. Yes. Here's one from County Cullen, another major contributor during the Harlem Renaissance. A lot of times we don't hear about some of these guys. That's why I wanted to have, and ladies. That's why I wanted to bring some of that forward. Then we'll come with that Langston. We all love some Langston. It's in our minds and our bones. But this is Incident by County Cullen. Once riding in old Baltimore, head filled with glee, I saw a Baltimorean. He looking straight at me. Now I was 8 and very small, and he was no whit bigger. And so I smiled, but he poked out his tongue and called me nigger. I saw the whole of Baltimore from May until December. Of all the things that happened there, that's all that I remember. Here's one from a lady that we don't hear a lot, Georgia Douglas Johnson, lifespan 1880 to 1966. Let me not lose my dream, even though I scan the veil with eyes unseeing through their glaze of tears. Let me not falter, though the rungs of fortune perish, as I fare above the tumult, praying for purer air. Let me not lose the vision. Gird me, powers that toss the worlds, I pray. Hold me and guard, lest anguish tear my dreams away. Let me not lose my dreams. Okay, I'm gonna start with a little bit of Langston. This is the first one when I was a little kid. Teacher came in and said, all right, next week we're doing some poetry. I said, what? Poetry? What is that? And then she handed out some books, and I came across Langston Hughes, and it touched me deeply, and it still touching me. This is a famous one, some of y'all probably know. The Negro speaks of rivers. I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. All right, I'm gonna end this set right now with a motto. I play it cool and I dig all jive. That's the reason I stay alive. My motto, as I live and learn, is dig and be dug in return. I got a little bit more. Okay. Here's one. Good morning. By Langston Hughes. Wrote a lot about mornings, evenings, noondays. This one is called, it's kind of historically ties into the one that I started out with. Kind of goes along with the one I started out with. That's why it's here. It's called Good Morning. Good morning, Daddy. I was born here, he said. Watched Harlem's road until colored folks spread from river to river across the middle of Manhattan. Out of Penn Station, dog tenth of a nation, planes from Puerto Rico, and the hulls of boats Chico up from Cuba, Haiti, Jamaica, in buses marked New York. From Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, to Harlem, Brooklyn, the Bronx. But most of all, to Harlem, dusky sash across Manhattan. I've seen them from dark, wandering, big-eyed, dreaming out of Penn Station, but the trains are late. The gates are open, but there's bars at each gate. What happens to a dream deferred? Daddy, ain't you heard? Okay. Here's the last one for this set. This is Laffers. This is like number into the Langston. Langston, I've divided it up. He had major things he dealt with, like a humor. So I broke it up into a humor, my people, and this one is Laffers. Dream singers, storytellers, dancers, loud laughers in the hands of fate. My people, dishwashers, elevator boys, ladies, maids, crack shooters, cooks, waiters, jazzers, nurses of babies, loaders of ships, rounders, number writers, comedians in vaudeville, and bandmen in circuses. Dream singers, all my people. Storytellers, all my people. Dancers, God, what dancers. Singers, God, what singers. Singers and dancers, dancers and laughers. Laughers? Yes. Laughers. 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 Loudmouth laughers in the hands of fate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to look at the art. There's some food and drink up here. Please enjoy, and then we'll have, not a repeat, we'll have another set at 7:15. Thank you so much for coming.